Okay, I'm recording. I try to sit down, stay out of the way here. Hopefully I'm out of the way. So, this is Rich here. I'm going to show you how to make my template for the Microsoft Publisher Little Books. Start with your page, and we're going to fold the page in half the long ways, and then we'll fold it in half the long ways again. So now this is going to be a very simple book, just four, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be 8 pages. So this will be an 8-page book. So you want to find the edge where all the pages meet, which in this case is this one. So this is going to open this way, or we could have it open that way, doesn't matter. Then we're going to number the pages with a pencil. Page 1. I'm going to put a line underneath the bottom. I'll tell you why in a minute. This would be page, whoops. This inside page here would be page 2. Then here, this would be page 3. This will be page 4. This will be page 5. This will be page 6. This will be page 7. And this back page will be page 8. Now, so this is going to be the cover. This is going to be the back page. And these are going to be all the pages in between. When they actually make the book, I'll be cutting here and connecting these either with staple or something. Now, when I open up the page and look at it, okay, you'll notice that some of the numbers are upside down and some are right side up. The reason I underlined the 1 and the 8 in particular, so I knew which end of that symbol, of that numerical symbol, was the bottom. So I know that this 1 and this 8 are right side up. So this is my first page. I'm going to have to divide it up into 4. This is a 8.5 by 11 page. Divide it up into 4 sections. Put a text box into each section. I will leave these text boxes right side up. These 2 text boxes I will turn upside down because you see the numbers are upside down. Then on the second page, I will have these 2 on top upside down, these 2 on the bottom right side up. And I will put the page numbers in there so I know what they are. Now, one last thing. Page 1 and page 2 will have to be printed one against the other. So I'm going to put a dot, a big heavy dot on the page, a big heavy dot, and then over here on page 2, I'm going to hold this up to the light. The big heavy dot is down near the bottom here. I'm going to put one down there. This is for printing purposes. So when I print my page, this dot should be right on the opposite side of that dot. Make sure I print them correctly. Okay, so now I'm going to have to go to Microsoft Publisher and set up the actual template based on the book that I want to make. So this was part 1. And I will do part 2 and record that on the computer. And welcome to part 2 of making a small booklet template using Microsoft Publisher. First thing I want to point out is that I'm using an older version of Publisher. So some of the things, perhaps many of the things that I do, will be done differently in your version. I'm assuming most of you have an updated version. However, I'm a bit of I just like to keep using my old software. Since it still runs on Windows 10, we'll use that. Okay, so that being said, let me close this up. And now, if you notice the page I have here, it's a 11 and a half, 8.5 by 11, sorry, 8.5 by 11. And I've divided up into 4 sections. I did that by going up here to Arrange, and I'm going to Layout Guides. I set my margins to 0.5 inches. 1 inch when you're making a small booklet takes up quite a bit of the page, so a half an inch is a good compromise. You might want to go with 1/4 of an inch. It's up to you. And then I go to Grid Guides, the second tab here, and I set my columns to 2, and I set my rows to 2, with a spacing of 2/10 of an inch both ways. Then when I click OK, I wind up getting what we have in the background here. So this is this is the first page of the template. To make the second page, I'm just going to go down to Pages at the bottom left corner here, right click on it, and say Insert a Duplicate Page. And this is the second page of the template. Now, going back to the first page of the template, what I'm going to do is put the numbers in. And if you recall, we had started with, I had folded the paper into 4 parts, and then numbered the pages and unfolded it. So down here we have page number 1. So I'm going to insert a small text box and put a 1 in there. I'm going to highlight that. And then if you use Control, Shift, and the greater than symbol, just keep tapping it, you can make that number bigger. And I'm going to Control B to make it bold. So now I can see my number 1 there. I'm going to select that box. So you have to click the box so there's no cursor blinking inside. I'm going to hit Control C to copy it. Then off on the side here, I unselected that box, by the way. If you don't unselect it and you paste the new box in, it's going to paste it right on top of that shifted over a little bit. So I'm going to right click over here and paste. This is going to go down here, and this is going to be the number 8, page 8. Then I'm going to go up here and right click up here. These are going to be turned upside down, so this will be the bottom of the page. I'm going to paste, and this page up here is going to be page, that's a 4, and this is a page 5. Now pages 4 and 5 have to be turned upside down. So to indicate that, so I remember, select the text box, go with that green dot, and turn it around. Now it's upside down. Select 5, text box, turn that upside down. Okay. So this is the first page of our template. Now I'm going to the second page. Now on the second page, we're going to have a 2 down this corner, then a 7 over here. So again, I can paste. and that's going to be a 2. Over here, I'm going to right click and paste. That's going to be a 7. Just going to place it down the corner there. Right click up here and paste. And that is going to be a 6. And right click and paste over here. And that is going to be a 3. Turn this one upside down. Turn the 3 upside down. Turn the 6 upside down. Okay. Now the next part, all I have to do is put in the text boxes. Once I'm done putting in the text boxes and orientating them, you can either leave page numbers in there or take them out. It's up to you. I'm going to go back to page 1 and start with a text box. So go over here to the left and click on text box. If you have a later version, you might have that banner up on top. On page 1, I'm going to put a text box. And this text box on page 1 is, you could leave it out and just put a picture there, since page 1 is going to be the cover of your booklet. Now I'm going to put another text box, or I could just copy that one. Select the text box. You got to click the edge so you don't have that cursor blinking. Control C, unselect it, and come over here, right click, paste. And we're just going to move that up here. Now we're going to go to page 4. We're going to paste up there. And then we're going to go to page 5 and paste there. I'm going to move this 4 down a little bit so I got a little more space in this box here. There we go. Now I go to the second page of the template, do the same things, paste. Come over here, right click, paste. Put that one in. Up here, right click, paste. Over here, right click, paste. Okay, now you can expand these boxes if you like to make them line up with the guidelines to get your maximum amount of space. As far as what you're putting in there, it's going to depend on you. Now what you have to do is you have to link. Now you can also, notice that this is a right side up page, which you will have to turn upside down once you get done putting your text in it. I would leave it right side up while you're inserting text, because you're only going to insert text starting in box 1. We're going to set up the flow chain so that 1 will flow to 2, 2 will flow to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8. Simple. Okay, where do we do that? We click on box 1. Then, up on the top edge, you should see a little create a text box link. We're going to click that. Now we have to go to the second page of the document and click inside text box 2. And now we have to go up to create a text box again. We have to click inside text box 3, which is right above it on the same page. And we click the chain again. Now we have to go from 3 to 4. So we go back to the first page. And here's 4 over here. So we link to that. And now we have to link 4 to 5, which is right next to it. Go up here and click on that one. Now we're linked all the way up to 5. Now we have to link from 5 to 6 and then to 7. So 6 and 7 are on the second page of the template. So we click our little chain link, go down here, click 2. We want to go to 6 now. And now we want to link from there to 7. And now we want to link from there to 8, which is on the front page of the template here. So now we have everything all linked together. Now we need some text to throw in there. So I'm going to open up the internet. I'm just getting some text for the purpose of showing you how the text is going to flow and what to do after you filled it all in. Okay, so I'm going to go to a wiki document. Let's go to something about Australia. History, cities, capitals, maps, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's not wiki, but has, and no, I don't want that. So go back. Can't win these days. So here's Wikipedia. Let's stick with that. Okay, so I'm going to, it has quite a bit of text. Let's see where we have the most. Let's go down here to European arrival and colonial expansion. It may not all fit in. Pictures, you don't want to take pictures, so we're going to highlight the text from here down. Scroll, scroll, scroll. And we'll go down to there. I'm going to right click on that and copy. Okay, now I'm going to take this set aside. I'm going to page 1 here, right click and paste. Okay, I only had enough information to fill up to his page 4. Let's look on the second page. Okay, so we've got pages 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we need some more information there. Come on back here. I'm going to go to nationhood. Get a little more information here. I am just grabbing text for the sake of having some text. I'm going to copy that. And again, put this out of the way. Okay, so we're at the end of page of 4. Hit enter once to move down a line. Control V is in victory. Paste the rest of that. And you see we finally do get to page 8. Okay, so now we have text in all of ours. What we have to do is take this text box and turn it upside down. This is on the, sorry, let's go to the first page. First page of the template. These 2 pages have to be upside down. Click on them and rotate. Take page 4, click on it, and rotate. Now we go to page 2, and 2 top ones have to be upside down. Click on it, and rotate it 180 degrees. And the same thing for this one here. And now the last thing we want to do, if you remember I said something about some black dots for printing. I'm going to put the small black dot over the 1 on this page, and then over the 2 on the second page of the document. So let's take, doesn't have to be a 1, just has to be, a dot, be any symbol. I can put in the letter O or something, that nice big letter O. I'm going to make a smaller text box again, make it on the side here. And I'm going to put in an O. I'm going to highlight it, make it bold by Control B, and holding down Control and Shift and tapping the greater than symbol I can make that a little bigger so it's more noticeable. Okay, so I'll put that down here like so, and I'll go to the second page. Oops, sorry, I didn't copy it. Back to the first page, right click on that, copy it, and I'll go to the second page, right click, paste, but we want this over here on 2. Now, once you print your first copy and you know how you're going to put the paper into your printer, you need to be able to print on 2 sides, by the way. Then you will be able to remove the O's and just print your booklet the way it is. So, going to print this up right now. So I'm going up here. Well, first file. Now, before I filled in all the text, you could have saved it as a template. I usually do that. I skipped that step. Sorry about that. So what I'm going to do is print this out. On my IX series. This is the one I want. Okay, let's see. I want 2-sided printing. Properties, here we go. Portrait copies. Standard paper. Okay. Oh, single-sided, 2-sided. Okay, so it's going to be manual. And my printer's a little low on ink, but that's okay. It'll still print it, so I'm not using any red ink. Okay, be right back. Just have to go check that out, get it off the printer. Okay, I'm back. So everything printed okay. And you may have to experiment a little bit with your printer to get the right orientation so you get page 2 directly on the back of page 1. That's the tricky part, getting page 2 and 1 correctly lined up. So that way when you fold it up, you will have the correct pages lined up. And then after you print it out, you will fold it up, and I'll show you how to do that in part 3 of this video. Okay, now, by the way, if I highlight all the text in here, starting with 1, just do Control A and delete the text. Now I have a blank template, which now I can go to File, Save As. Down here, save this as a publisher template right here. And just call it 8-page little booklet. And to shorten the name, I'm just going to make it PG. Save. Okay, that'll make it a little better. Okay, well, thank you for watching this part. Join me in part 3 to see how to fold it and put it all together. Okay, thanks, and be right back. Okay, this is part 3 of the video of how to make a template for the little booklets using Microsoft Publisher. And so here we are. Now, as you may recall, the first, sorry, using that as a place to, so I can see and make sure. Okay. as you may recall, in the first part of the video, we made this folded sheet, which put numbers on here at different places, and that showed us how to fold up the paper. That showed us how to arrange and how to orientate the text boxes we were going to put into the publisher document template. And you may recall that I put a symbol on page 1 and then also on page 2. So when I print it out, they would be opposite each other. Okay, so I made the template, put in some text, and this is the printout that I have. And you may notice that I put a symbol down here. That's a letter O. You could make the symbol a lot smaller, less obvious. You could just make it a period right after the number. Or once you have your printing straightened out, you know how you're going to rotate this in between printings, you may just want to take that away. And it also is going to depend on whether your printer has the ability to print double-sided, or if you have to do it manually by taking the paper out, turning it, putting it back, flipping it over and putting it back into your printer. Okay, so here's our 0 marking this one, and if you look on the other side, here's the 0 that marks this side. So I know this is printed correctly, so now I can fold it. Now, of course, you want page 1 on the outside. So in order to fold it, we're going to have to fold it this way, lengthways. So this way, page 1 and page 8, the front and back, are there. Then I'm going to fold it over again this way. Okay, and I'm a little sloppy right now, but you get the idea. Also, I put a title up on top of the first page just for the sake of having a title up there. Okay, so this is what we get. Now what we'd have to do is cut the pages so you can flip them actually. If you're not sure of your folding, you could, before you cut it, just make sure that you have 1, 2, 3, the pages are in order, just by looking, flipping through the bottom corner. Alright, so I'm going to cut it along this top edge here. You don't want to cut it along the spine where all of the pages are. That's the spine of the book. You don't want to cut that. You've got to leave those connected. So this isn't that sharp of a knife, but it will give you the idea. So I have 2 cuts. Number of cuts you have to make depends on how many pages, how many times you folded the paper. Okay, so now I have my pages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, all in the correct order. At this point, you can staple this together just by opening it up to the center, putting it into a stapler and stapling it. I would staple it from the outside into the middle so that the folds of the staple are inside. No one's going to cut their fingers on it. Another thing you could do, some people do, is to stitch the paper up, using thread and needle, stitch the spine together. That would work also. Now, in order to make books with more pages, you can fold the paper more and go through the same process of numbering each little page before you actually unfold it. Then you unfold it and you'll see what pages are on front and back and how the pages have to be linked to each other. I have made, using 11 by 16, I've made little booklets that have as many as 32 pages. It's something you can do, experiment with, have fun, and I hope you found this video helpful. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.